So my mom has knee surgery, and so we're just gonna plow this whole entire garden, make it new, and then get some raised beds so that way it's easier. And my mom loves to garden, so we want to make this easier.
Yeah, so we're going to get some good before and after shots. Yeah, it's recording.
Make sure to like and subscribe, guys.
buddy. Look at this line. That. And that. So, now we just have to tackle this monstrosity over here. And but I'm pretty proud of what we've done. Look at that. All with this little engine that could. I don't think you guys are going to be able to see me very well, but we'll catch up in a sec.
Oopsie. Guys, if you don't know what these are, they're mini hoes. But they're actually weed puller outers. Yeah, and my dad has the actual big hoe. It's right here. And somehow one of the others got better. Wow.
Look at what we've done. So the garden is going to be this part, right? And then we'll just mulch or stone or just dig up all of this stuff on the edges so that it doesn't creep in. But this is where we're going to end today. And we'll tackle all this stuff tomorrow. All right, it's time to work on this half. So this old swing set we used for climbing beams. So we'll probably get some new string, but that's what this is for. And we will put some raised beds, 2 raised beds right here, one right here, one further back, and then right here and right here. We may or may not use this area. I think we're going to get some more of these barrel bins and just kind of put them along the edge for herbs or smaller plants. But pretty much we're close to being done on this part. The hard part's over. So we'll get some before and after for you guys. But we're going to get some of those raised beds installed also. Say goodbye.
Bye.
We got all this wood to do some building. We are going to attempt our first ever garden bed build. Wish us luck. We are going to be building these garden boxes, and I'm just kind of going to give you a visual of kind of the idea that I have in my head. It's a sandbox that my father-in-law made us years ago, and so the concept is the same. Right, we just build a box that's reinforced in the corners. We might have something, kind of a lip, if we can have enough wood for seating. But basically this is it, but it's going to be twice as tall. And this is the wood that we have, and I had been attempting to build a garden fence, but I never finished, and I don't like this, so we're going to start over. It's just not sturdy enough for our dog that likes to jump on the fence. And so we have several of those leftovers over here. So that's what we're going to use for those corner braces. And then to kind of fill in the boxes, you know, because we don't need a foot of dirt or 2 feet of dirt, or however deep it's going to be. There's this pile of rocks that we've had stashed away the corner of our lot for years. I never knew what to do with them. So I'm going to take those, kind of put those on the bottom of the boxes, and then, you know, dirt on top of that. So that way it has some drainage, as well as just kind of landfill. I'm going to secure the camera up on a tripod, pointed hopefully, and you can kind of watch me build these in time-lapse mode with some clever music. about 8 feet from the edge, we're going to plant a peach tree right here to give everything a shade. And I know some of you are thinking, oh, you should have used treated lumber. I know that. We just didn't have any, and I wanted to get this started. So we will be painting, protecting it so that it doesn't create an issue. All right, another Saturday, another work day in the garden. I'm going to finish up this garden bed. So you see how one of them's a little bit out, in order to pull them all in together, I'm going to put some vertical supports. 2 of them, 1, 2. The added benefit is then we could actually put a seal, like a little sill on the top, like a sitting area. This box is pretty much built, and here's some before and afters of the garden.